I hope this is not true, to be honest. The rumors that are going around that I've been doing some research, and obviously Real Killers is also in on it too, with the idea or rumor that a couple big, huge companies, when it comes to vacation homes, wants to purchase the Watts, aka the Miller's home. Which is very scary to think about. Like Real Killers said, here comes the TikTokers, the ghost hunters. It's I'm really hoping this is not true, because this is not what this house needs to be. What Shanann wanted this house to be was a loved home that brought and built memories in. We're going to see the fascinations of why this house is such a desire to own. Because people are literally comparing it to the Amityville horror house. Which is crazy to believe, because the Amityville house, again, not to compare, that whole family was annihilated, yes, by the son that murdered everybody by using a weapon. Chris murdered his family with his bare hands. But, like, we're trying to figure out the facts about NK being involved. Why are we so focused on this house being a fascination with people wanting to go do ghost hunting and TikTok? Like, I have no fascination in wanting to go to this house to witness this house. All I want is to find NK being involved, if she's innocent or guilty. But we're going to wean this out and see if the rumors are true. So before we go any further, please make sure you guys are subscribed by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit the bell icon next to it, so when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted that video. Then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, I thank you guys so very much for that love and support you guys continuously show on this channel. I can't thank you guys enough. Keep doing what you guys are doing, and we'll continue to keep growing together. We're also going to be watching Dr. Todd Grande. Grande. I'm probably butchering it. This guy is telling us the fascination of why murder houses, aka Chris Watts' house, is such a fascination with people. I have no fascination with it. What I think it needs to do is, honestly, and people probably don't want to hear this, flattened. Okay? A stone that says, in loving memory of Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico. That's it. Just grass. That's all it needs to be. The city takes care of it. Is that wrong? I'm just saying. I think this house is always going to have people drive past it. People are going to go up to the door, look in the windows. Like, you're never going to... There's people that reached out to me telling me that I should go there. No, I'm not going there. There's no reason for me to go there. What I am finding to be my main goal anymore is the NK involvement. I'm still looking and direly looking into the possible whereabouts of Nicole and so forth, which is not this video. The scary thing is that two big companies looking into vacation homes. I'm not going to show like who's like who. We don't know exactly who. We just know the rumors are that the two big vacation homes, which if you type in vacation home rental companies in Colorado, holy shiznits. There's so many. There's big ones that own buildings that are 1.2 3.5 million. Like, it's ridiculous. And the only reason why they're looking at this house is cha-ching, dollar signs. If they could rent this house out for nights at a time, days at a time, weeks at a time, the unfortunate thing is that there are going to be ghost hunting channels that are going to participate in purchasing this house. If you think about it, unfortunately, like I've looked at other vacation homes, these vacation homes are not cheap. Like, we're talking thousands for a few days. And people are paying it, which is ridiculously absurd. If they buy this home and rent this out, it could be almost catastrophic. I may be blowing this out of proportion, but a family needs to live there. I can't say what family, because it seems like any family that goes into this home is being ridiculed, compared, like harassed, stalked. And it's like, okay, because a family of the 5 Millers that came in there, they were automatically assumed that they had a fascination, obsessed, like they were wanting to be like the Watts. It's like ridiculous. People like saying that I'm obsessed with Shanann. I admire Shanann and what she had done before she was unfortunately taken away from this world. But the big fascination is people want to know if there's any presence in the home and that a murder happened. The Valeska Axe murder house. It's not too far from me, okay? Holy crap, it sells for so much money. And then people rent it out because they do investigations. They look into the murders that happen there that's unsolved. I mean, there's more. The Lizzie Borden Axe murder house, the Amityville Horror House. There's other murder houses back in LA that are super expensive. There is a fascination with horror and murderers. Like it or not, that's there. And if 2 big companies are thinking about purchasing that, I don't think it's going to be able to be stopped, which is scary to think about. Because I guarantee the next door neighbor on the left and the next door neighbor on the right, or any surrounding areas, is not going to want to have this a vacation home. So let's watch the fascination of why people want to be this house, want to stay there, want to go there. Again, the channel is Dr. Todd Grande. I'm butchering it. I'm very bad with pronunciation. Definitely, let's look into this video, and we'll definitely talk afterwards.
Hello, this is Dr. Grande. Today's question asks if I can analyze the idea of a murder house, including the Watts family home in Frederick, Colorado.
I do want to let you know that this video was posted 3 years ago. This man knows his stuff. I watch other things. I can't believe I pronounced his name Grande instead of Grande. But again, I digress.
Just a reminder, I'm not diagnosing anybody in this video, only speculating about what could be happening in a situation like this. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and consider supporting me on Patreon. I'll put the link to Patreon in the description for this video. When a homicide or other terrible crimes take place at a private residence, like a single-family home, the way people view the house itself changes. In a way, it can become like a tourist attraction. People don't want to live there, but they want to see it. Sometimes rumors surface saying the house has become haunted, which creates a variety of reactions. Again, some people want to visit a haunted house. Others consider that ill-advised. The fate of a murder house itself is highly variable. Some are destroyed and turned into a park or something like that. Others are sold to people who live there.
Why not destroy this and turn it into a park? Yes, unfortunately, all that money and effort that went into this house, I think, honestly, the city of Colorado and the Frederick area needs to buy it and demolish it just for a safe haven. To get away from the next door neighbors and their unfortunate turmoil that they might have pursued because they see cars driving by, slow, flashlights, people up at the door. It needs to be flattened. I'm telling you, it just needs to be destroyed.
Just like a normal house, some remain abandoned for many years. Others become something of an historic landmark. Let's take a look at a few examples of notorious murder houses. We see the so-called Amityville Horror House in New York. This was the setting of 6 murders perpetrated.
Again, a beautiful home, but it should have been destroyed.
By Ronald DeFeo Jr. in 1974. The house is still there. The address is 108 Ocean Drive instead of the original 112.
I think it's sold for
People were visiting it, and I think changing the address was a strategy to try to dissuade that. There have been claims that this house is haunted. Clearly, it is not. The Boulder, Colorado house, where JonBenet Ramsey was murdered, sat on the market for 4 years. It's more like a mini mansion. A couple did buy the home in 2004, but then they moved and tried to sell it in 2008, 2009, 2011, and again in 2014. They were not successful. As I understand it, They just kept the house. John Wayne Gacy's house was located on Somerdale Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. He was a serial killer. 29 of his 33 victims were found buried on the property in late 1978 and early 1979. The house was destroyed and the lot stood vacant for many years, but eventually it was sold and somebody built another house on the lot, although the address was different. The 19-room Victorian mansion of John List burned to the ground about a year after he murdered his family. No one knows if the fire was intentional.
Like, even like listen to these and like listen to all the other things that happen throughout the world and stuff like that. Why are we murdering our families? Like, what the flip, man? Like, can't you find a new hobby? Can't you, like, if you don't like the family that you're in, fight for it or try to fix it? If not, there is divorce. Stop murdering your families. Like, ridiculous. I'm so sick of turning on the television and, oh, here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. They abuse their children. Stop doing it. Holy crap. Live your life like you're supposed to. Grow old with your loved ones. Raise your children. Spend time with your grandkids. And then that's it. Why are we murdering our families?
Or accidental. Sharon Tate was staying at 10050 Celio Drive in Beverly Hills, California, when members of the so-called Manson family killed her and 4 others at that house.
And
the house changed.
And the reasons for their murdering their families, like, it's no excuse. I saw a demon, or I wasn't mentally stable. Then maybe you should check yourself mental into a hospital, not murder your family or your friends.
Ownership 2 times after the murders. The second owner demolished it in 1994 and built a new house with a different address, 10066. That owner said that nothing was left of the original house. No dirt, no blade of grass, nothing remotely connected to Sharon Tate.
See, that's what they need to do, is go in there, demolish the house, take all the dirt out, the sand, whatever, put new dirt, like literally start from scratch. Sell the lot as a lot, not the house. It needs to happen. As much as the Miller family want to keep it and sell it for $725,000 or $750,000 that they're trying to sell it for, just flatten the lot. And then the neighbors won't have any problems. We won't have to worry about any more videos on if the house is haunted or it's just going to be flat.
So here we see a house that was destroyed in part out of respect for the victims, with an emphasis on one victim, Sharon Tate. The Bever family house in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, was the site of 5 homicides perpetrated by 2 brothers. The house mysteriously caught fire. Later, it was completely destroyed, and a park was built there. The Fall River, Massachusetts house, where Lizzie Borden's father and stepmother were murdered, was turned into a museum. The Maplecroft mansion, where Borden moved after she was acquitted of murder, is considered a highly desirable property as well. One of the more notorious homes is that of Chris Watts. This house is located at 2824.
I'm getting chills just talking about this on both my arms. Like, it's so annoying to think that people will drive past here because they're fascinated with the murder. I'm just fascinated with hopefully finding out that Nicole was involved or innocent, and we can put this to bed.
5 Saratoga Trail in Frederick, Colorado. This 4,200 square foot home was built in 2013 and purchased in May of that year for just under $400,000. Chris Watts still owed $349,000 at the time of the homicides. The house is now estimated to be worth somewhere around $600,000. The lender that owns the mortgage on the home foreclosed on it and put it up for auction, but no one bought it. The vacant house is becoming increasingly problematic for the neighbors. Apparently, many people visit the house, even people from out of state. So there's a lot of vehicular traffic in the neighborhood. In every case, in each of the murder houses I talked about here, we see this strong reaction, including fascination and disgust. I think people can tolerate a lot of events occurring in a house, including death, from something like sickness or an accident, but not homicide.
Yeah.
There's something about homicide that attaches to the property forever.
Like
a house where a murder took place will never be known for anything else. A cure for cancer could be found by a scientist working in that house, and it would still be thought of as a murder house. The reality is that even when houses are destroyed and a new house is built on the property, people still talk about that connection, but it reduces the number of people that would visit. Few people will travel to see a new house built on the same land. I think there's something unnerving about standing in a residence where something like that happened. There's the sense that it could have been anybody standing in that residence when the murders occurred. And that is true. Homicide can happen just about anywhere. When homicides occur, especially multiple homicides, everybody wants to try to figure out what happened. That's one of the reasons the Chris Watts case is so fascinating. In that search for answers, nothing can be ruled out. So if somebody was standing in a house like the Watts murder house, they might wonder if there's not something about that house that contributed to the crime. Was the house evil? Does the house drive people to commit murder? There is no scientific reason to believe that some houses want occupants to kill each other, although if homicides occurred in a particular house, this could introduce the idea to future residents. I don't think that's likely, but it's certainly a possibility. If one were to think about it, encouraging the residents to commit murder is a very bad decision for a house to make. There's a pretty good chance that the house will end up being destroyed as a result of that.
Which it should
So I guess if a house does that, it's kind of like a murder-suicide. A house demanding homicide would be like a car asking to have Ted Kennedy as its driver. It's much more likely that if the house could impose its will on one of the occupants, it would say something like, let's put down hardwood floors, get a fresh coat of paint, and how about fixing those cracks in the driveway? Another illogical thing is the idea that a house can be haunted after homicides. Almost like when people are murdered, they want to hang around in whatever location the crime happened. Does that mean that people killed on an interstate highway haunt that road? If somebody dies in a car, is the car haunted? What is it about a house that makes it more likely to be haunted than any other location?
He has a point.
I think the bottom line is that the idea that some things are haunted is fascinating to people, and they...
I mean, items can be, like, if, like, let's say my grandmother passes on, and her essence are in an armoire box, or something. Like, people do believe in that certain items can be residual hauntings or be an energy of attachment to it. Scientifically, has it been proven? No. But again, there are still things that we're trying to figure out. Death. What happens after death? What happens when you go into a coma? Can you, what's it called? What do they say? Spirit walk and stuff like, we don't know. Why is, like he said, is the highway haunted? Is the car haunted? Is the medium haunted? Is a bridge haunted? That's why we're trying to figure these things out. And that's why people have the fascination with this house, is they want to know if it's haunted. They want to know if I can almost rest assured, again, I can't prove it 100%, but I'm telling you that Shanann, Bella, Celeste, and Nico are not there anymore. Their essence, their energy, their souls are gone. My belief is they're with our Lord and Savior, Jesus, God, whatever you have it. Again, I'm not putting my faith onto you guys, but that's what I believe. My other belief is that Chris will be judged by our big man upstairs, and I don't feel that he will be going up. I feel that he was going to be going down. You are on this planet to be a good person, to follow the commandments, and murder is one of them. I can't see that Jesus is going to be like, oh, you committed 4 homicides, I forgive you. I mean, I don't know. Again, I can't say because I've never been there. I don't know. But that's why the fascination is such there, is because there could be a tide. There could be a dark presence. Because Chris had stated that there's a dark presence that took over me, and I felt like I couldn't control my hands. And he stated that Nicole Kessinger, with her friends, did some weird crap downstairs in the basement. So,
find reasons to believe it's happening. Looking specifically at the Watts family home, What can be done in that situation? What
Flatten
should
it.
be done with the house?
Flatten it.
The Watts family home is in a neighborhood of other similar homes. As I understand it, the residents of that neighborhood want somebody to buy it and live there. They're ready to move on from the tragedy. I imagine they do not want it destroyed and being left as an empty lot. To some people, that seems like waste. To others, it makes perfect sense. Again, we see there's no standard reaction to a murder house. 50 to 100 years in the future, I think the house would sell without a problem, but I doubt the neighbors would be on board with a long-term plan like that. When the crime is still recent, there's probably more disgust and less fascination. As time goes on, of course, the level of fascination increases and disgust decreases. Many years from now, if that house is still standing, it'll probably be viewed more as an object of novelty as opposed to an object of horror. I think it's a little naive to believe that a family can just buy the house and move in and everything will be fine. Not because there's anything actually structurally wrong with the house, necessarily, but because of human behavior. People will still drive by and take pictures of the house, and the residents will know what happened there.
We have pictures on Google. We have pictures of the new house on Google. We now have pictures of every flippin' room in that house because of Zillow. It's on Zillow. We have the floor plans. You don't need to go to this house anymore. Stop driving by it. It's not a tourist attraction. It's not like going to Statue of Liberty and getting your foam finger to make it look like you're not going to get t-shirts and mugs. Stop going to the location. A murder had taken place there. It's unfortunate, but stop going there.
It may take a toll on them. I think when people buy a house, even though nothing is forever, they want to believe that that house is part of their legacy, part of their family's legacy. Like if a family with the name Smith buys a home, they might call it the Smith family home, the Smith family residence. It becomes part of a tradition. It becomes linked to their identity. If somebody bought the Watts house, it'll never be part of their legacy. It'll always be known for the homicides. Another thing a buyer would have to consider as far as the Watts family home is that selling it would be difficult. People typically don't buy a house they're going to live in with the intent of selling it shortly afterward.
Which is the wrong thing, which is happening with the Millers. The Millers probably purchased it with the intent to live there and grow memories, which, again, I love the way that they did things. The colors, the contrast. Some people don't. Everybody has their different loves and dislikes. They tried to make it a home. Unfortunately, things had taken place where there was abuse, there was harassment, the family is separating. That's unfortunate. But trying to sell it right now in the housing market that we have right now, which is absurdly grotesque, it's not going to sell. I'm telling you right now, I don't feel this house is going to sell within the first 1 or 2 years. I could be wrong. But that's why the rumors are that big companies that do vacational homes could purchase it and then upscale the rental dough, and then people are going to pay for it because, one, they don't have to take care of the house. Two, they get there and they do it for content creating, ghost hunting, TikTokers. I am inside the room that Chris Watts murdered his wife. I guarantee if that were to happen, it's going to explode. There are going to be so many YouTube channels, TikTokers, YouTube or Facebook channels that are going to go to this location. I will be one of them that will never, ever go to that location. As respect of Shanann and Bella and Celeste and Nico. People want me to go to their cemetery. There is no reason for me to go there. I wanted to bring the information of this case to you guys. I want the law enforcement to decide, yeah, we need to bring in NK and question her, investigate her, not interview. That's what my goal is for this channel, or this case. But for the rumors to be that big companies are going to purchase it, maybe they might see my video, maybe they might not see it in my video. My word is not going to stick with them. They want to make money. And again, I don't know what companies. It's just the rumor is it's on Reddit. It's on Real Killers. Real Killers heard about it. I did hear about it as well. I guarantee other YouTubers have heard it about as well. I'm not going to speculate what company is doing it. If it sells within the next 1 to 2 years, it's going to be a big company to do a vacational home. It will not be another family. That's my opinion. It's not fact. It's fictional. It's my theory, my opinion. So don't blow up about it. And let's continue.
But it's nice to have that option. Things can happen in life that necessitate a move. In this way, buying the Watts house is like living on a one-way dead-end street. I think owning a house like that would get old because the owner could never change the subject. Like if they were encountered somewhere and people were talking to them, the subject would always become what happened. And
what is it like being there? Do you hear anything? Do you hear creaks? Does it smell? Like they're literally going to do that. This ain't the Conjuring house, okay? It's not the Amityville horror house. It was a family that had a traumatic event because of a douchebag dude, and that people are gonna ask this. It's like in a horror movie. Like if a family moves in there, you know what house you moved into, right? I heard of so many murders that happened in there. I've seen things in the window. Like it's gonna always happen
in that house. In a way that reflects the experiences of certain controversial figures like Tanya Harding, O.J. Simpson, or Jeffrey Toobin. They probably want to talk about skating, football, and the law, respectively, but that is not where the conversation will end up. One solution I have to the problem of murder houses is to let disgraced celebrities live there. Put enough of them in one house, and maybe the house can be known for something else. Arguably, this would not always be significantly less frightening than homicide. In the example I used with Harding, Simpson, and Toobin, if somebody was visiting that home where they lived, say having dinner with them, that person may be worried about steel batons.
So is he making it sound like Chris Watts should be like incarcerated at that house? I mean, don't get me wrong, like give him just the normal stuff. Don't give him fun stuff to do there, but like make him live there with on guards. He just has the essentials, like no TV, has a bed, it's on the floor. Like he doesn't get to enjoy it going outside. Like he has to purposely live there for the rest of his life. Is that what I'm getting? Is that what he's kind of saying? Or am I just blowing that out?
Knives, and let's just say other tools. What lesson can be learned from the dispositions of murder houses? There are many things to know when selling a home. Don't delay with foundation repairs, fix water leaks immediately, and don't commit homicide on the property. Among other problems like the murder part, there is the life in prison or the death penalty, as well as difficulty selling the house. Those are my thoughts on murder houses. Please put any opinions and thoughts in the comment section. They always generate an interesting dialogue. As always, I hope you found my analysis of this topic to be interesting. Thanks for watching.
Like you said, I definitely would love to hear you guys' partake down below as a dialogue. More of a appropriate, respectful dialogue. I don't want this to cause any turmoil between other people and fights and drama fests and so forth, as you will. Definitely go over to Dr. Grande. Give him some love. Subscribe, comment, like, and share to him. Again, comment down below for my channel as well. I definitely would love to hear your guys' partake on this matter. Destroy, flatten, keep it as a home for a family. But the biggest thing I don't want to see happen is a vacation home for this place. It would be definitely a destructive scenario. Again, thank you guys for watching. Please take care, be safe, enjoy Mother's Day tomorrow with your loved ones. Make sure you guys love your mothers, love your wives, because they're the ones that raising your children, and for your future mothers as well, whoever you may be. Again, please take care, be safe, and as always, keep nerding on, and we'll see you guys in the next one.